Hey there everybody, this is Ray Carcillo and welcome to another 4-Minute Offense. Today I'm reviewing Fire Emblem Three Houses for the Nintendo Switch. It's a Nintendo Switch exclusive that was made by Intelligent Systems and Koei Tecmo. Koei Tecmo, of course, only joined working on the Fire Emblem team with Fire Emblem Warriors, of course, which was a spoof off their classic Dynasty Warrior series, but we're actually supposedly integral to helping Intelligent Systems get a new Fire Emblem game to the Switch, which marks the first time that Fire Emblem's been on a home console and not a portable console in 12 years since Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. So this is a big deal. This game is very different from your typical fare in the series. Of course, Fire Emblem's been around for over 30 years, originally debuted on the NES in Japan, later came over to the States about a decade later on the GameCube, and since then has really been a cornerstone franchise for Nintendo. A bit of a cult favorite, but has really grown by leaps and bounds and really kind of found an audience here in the West, and I am amongst that audience for sure. So it's a tactical RPG. What's great about it is that there's a feature called Permadeath, where if a character dies in battle, they're dead for the entire game. It really makes you think and calculate your moves very, very carefully, which is very, very cool. You can turn it off in more recent iterations of the gameplay on whether they either call Phoenix mode or casual mode if you're just kind of looking for a story, which is still cool. And there's a great story here. You play as Byleth, who is he's a mercenary who finds himself brought to Garreg Mach, which is this school, this monastery. It's a religious school basically that kind of controls the continent, right? It's kind of like everybody looks to this religious monastery for guidance and for everything in terms of the laws of this continent. And while you're there, you get promoted to becoming a professor at this school, and you get to choose between three houses, either the Golden Deer, the Blue Lions, or the Black Eagles. You throw in some silver snakes and some orange iguanas, and you'll have a Legend of the Hidden Temple. That was a joke. But anyway, you choose from the three houses. I personally chose from the Golden Deer, which actually you're seeing on screen right now. That's Claude, who was laying out the map there. And what's great is that you kind of then can recruit different students from different houses. You have your base set of students, but I kind of jokingly called myself Professor Pimp because I basically wooed every lady from every house over onto my side before you get to a point in the game where everybody has to, well, I'm not going to spoil it. But let's just say not everybody's going to be around for the entirety of the game. But what's great about this is that, so with that house aspect, there's a sense of real exploration and getting to know your students, and a real JRPG element. It feels like a Persona 5 crossed with Harry Potter, actually, more than just traditional Fire Emblem. Yes, the Fire Emblem gameplay that we know and love is still there, and it's still terrific, but there's definitely this added element of exploration and character development that we haven't even seen before. I will say it does get a little repetitive later on in the game because there's only so much you can do in Garreg Mach before it starts to get tiresome. You go fishing, you have dinner with the students, you train a little bit, and then you go fight a battle in the story. You go fishing, you have dinner with the students, you train a little bit, and you go fight a battle in the story. So it kind of goes again and again and again. It kind of gets repetitive towards the end, I would say for sure. So that, I would say, is the one detriment on this game. But other than that, the gameplay is terrific. The storyline is fantastic, especially if you're a Fire Emblem fan. It's a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's another one of these big heavy hitters that Nintendo really needed, and it shines and comes through, especially as a summer release. It took me over 50 hours to beat. I think it'll probably take most folks longer than that, especially if you're not if you are trying to save everybody in your school, not have everybody die. But overall, right now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is my game of the year at this particular point, as of the first week of September. Of course, that could change. We've got a lot of big releases coming out. Borderlands, Gears of War, all kinds of stuff. But right now, Fire Emblem Three Houses, with a 9 out of 10, is my 2/3 of the way through game of the year for 2019. Quick programming note, me and Lee are just getting back from PAX. We're just recovering, so be sure to stay tuned. We'll have a new episode up shortly. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you later with another 4-Minute Offense.